miles, you got a United 75 out there, you're straight in for the south side.
Heading 300.
United 69 Whiskey Romeo, Signal Approach, climb and maintain 17,000.
Climb 17,000, what's coming up?
United 365, when you eventually get to 250 knots, just maintain that speed till it dies.
That's 3324, 15 for 5,000.
That's 3324, ready to contact, climb and maintain 15,000.
15,000, that's 3324.
Number 9 Whiskey Romeo, do not exceed 250 knots, proceed direct Cahill.
No, then direct Cahill, what's coming up?
Citation 2 Charlie Whiskey, connect approach 12535.
2535, 2 Charlie.
Delta 741, connect LA Center 119.95.
1995, Delta 741, good day.
China Southern 5215 Heavy, expect runway 25 left. Southern 5215 Heavy, Los Angeles, information golf is current. Do you have information golf?
Good morning, departure, Horizon 2292 out of 16, Honda for 5,000, Lady J4 departure.
Horizon 2292, score ready to contact, climb maintain 8,000.
Climb maintain 8,000, Horizon 2292.
Gulfstream 9 Whiskey Romeo, normal speed, LA Center 119.95.
Normal speed 1995, what's coming up? SoCal departure, Skywest 3030, 1,200 climbing via the Dark 3, except maintain 5,000.
Yes, 3030, score ready to contact, climb via the SID, maintain 270 knots when able.
Climb via 270 knots when able, Skywest 3030.
Southwest 599, clear direct King.
Direct King, Southwest 599.
That was 3324, connect LA Center 12527.
527, 3324.
Morning, SoCal, American 1384, 800, climbing via the Orca 4, except maintain 5,000.
And Horizon 2292, proceed direct to Lady J, min altitude maintain 7,000.
Right, direct Lady J, maintain 7,000, Horizon 2292.
1384, ready to contact, climb maintain 15,000.
Maintain 250 knots. Unit 365, I got 25 left. You want it? 365, plan 25 left.
Guys, 3030, connect LA Center 119.05.
and I'll let you slow down before I base you.
(193 Tango Hotel, second approach, LA altimeter is 2994.
United 365, descend and maintain 3000, get right down.
American 1384, turn left, direct clipper.
Left turn, direct clipper, American 1374.
Southwest 599, Connect approach 12535.
2535, Southwest 599.
Horizon 2292, climb and maintain 8000, Connect approach 12875.
10,000, 128.75, Horizon 2292, good day.
United 365, assume normal speed, base will be about 4 or 5 miles behind an American Airbus on the straight.
Departure low, exact jet 673 out of 2 for the 3000 Avalon.
Exit at 673, radar contact climb via the SID, 270 knots when able.
Okay, we'll climb via and 270 above 10, exact jet 673.
United 365, reduce speed to 170, thanks for getting down quick.
Departure, exit jet 673, question?
Go ahead.
Climb via the 5 or climb via the SID?
Yeah, via the SID.
Climb via the SID, I see 12,000.
Well, top altitude is 230, there's just a 12,000 hold down.
Oh, I got you, 230, thank you.
United 365, turn right heading 160. So 1936, thanks, yeah, cleared ILS, 24 left, speed 250 toward west. China Southern 5215 Heavy, maintain 250 knots. I will let you slow down before I base you.
American 1384, Connect LA Center 125.27.
84, Shalom.
3 Tango Hotel, Connect approach 134.9er.
Gravity 323, 1,200, climbing 5,000, heading 271.
Fatigue 323, radar contact climb, maintain 7,000.
Maintain 7,000, fatigue 323.
China Southern 5215 Heavy, reduce speed to 170. United 365, you're about 4 miles behind an American Airbus 321. He's slowing down on me, so reduce speed to 160 or less.
Contact direct TV, maintain 17,000.
Connected to pilot.
Okay, direct TV 17,000, American 767.
Exit at 673, Connect LA Center 119.05. Exit at 673, Connect LA Center 119.05.
1905, exit jet 673.
United Southern 5215 Heavy, your base turn is going to be in 5 miles.
Boutique 323, proceed direct to Squirrel.
Direct Squirrel, Boutique 323.
Sheriff 35 SoCal, roger that. LAL, altimeter is 2993, what are you doing?
Departure Southwest 986, 1,800, coming to 5,000.
That's 986, border contact, climb, maintain 8,000.
Climb and maintain 8,000, Southwest 986.
Right heading 160. Sheriff 35, where'd you say you, first of all, what freak did you come from? Did you come from El Monte or 25-5? Do you remember? And when you said you're going to work where? Right where you're at?
Bring in the troops. Is he gonna take off? There he goes. Alright, we need to open up the doors, otherwise no one can board. Alright. We are doing, obviously, Allegiant. And I'm flying Allegiant Virtual today. Get a little credit for this virtual airline I'm with. And using real world procedures, real world flight plan, real world air traffic, well, not real world air traffic control, but we'll be using air traffic control on the PilotEdge network, which is a professional online air traffic control service provider. These guys are, it's a subscription thing. So I pay for this service, guaranteed ATC during the day. And it's at a very high level of professionalism, I guess you could say. Alright, let's hop in here and I'll lower the sound a little bit of the other airplanes. And let's jump over here. So this is the VA I'm with. So we're just going to do a charter flight from LA. Just, you know, we got very overcast. San Francisco is not too bad. It's cloudy, but not bad. So, I'm I'm doing this kind of like for YouTube, so I'm trying to do a basic planning and stuff too. I'm going to upload this to YouTube when I'm done. So if you want to get the flight plan for this, the easiest way to do it, I already know it, but if you're new and if you want to learn how to do it, you just go to flightaware.com, type in the airports, pick an airplane that's close to something you're flying, like here's an A320 United, and you can look up the flight plan that they use. Summer 2 SID Stoke transition to the Surfer 4 star arrival. They filed 380. I'm not going to file that high. I'm going to go 320. But I will be filing this flight plan. As you see, it's already in. So, copy that, punch it in there, so that way we have our route, and I'll brief the route before we go. So we're doing an A320, we're going 109 passengers today, 13.2 cargo, flight level 320, and Allegiant 383 is my call sign for this VA, so I'm going to go with that. And then we'll get our fuel. Fuels with a cost index of 100, so that way I want speed rather than saving on fuel. So we're going to take the block fuel, put it there. That gives me 57. I'm going to round that up to 58. If I was flying on VetSim, and if it was during an event, I would take a bunch more, at least 4,000 pounds more fuel. So 127 or 12,786. So we're right on, good on there. And then 109, 13.2 cargo, 0 fuel weight, 129.2. All right, 129,200 pounds, and the Airbus is done in kilograms. I know you can use SimBrief and change it from pounds to kilograms. I just don't do that, but probably would be a lot easier. So I'm going to write down 58,604 as my 0 fuel weight. 58,604. 12,1292. So we're done with our weight and fuel calculations. So we're going to look at DATIS, PilotEdge, 2993 for the altimeter. Pretty much standard sea level. Current with information Victor as of this report, and we are going to be departing 25 right. San Francisco for planning, they are landing west. No real NOTAM to worry about there, although you could look up NOTAMs, but I don't usually do that. Maybe one day I'll look into that. And Sacramento as an alternate, but don't need that because San Francisco has a Cat 3 available if you need it. So we're going to file. File this flight plan. Allegiant 383, we're an A320, we're Slant Lima, which is basically a McDo or FMC. 320 alternate. You have to file an alternate if the weather at your destination has certain parameters to it, like overcast or whatever your equipment in the airplane. There's a lot of variables that go into whether or not you legally have to file an alternate airport. It is weather related, and I don't know the specifics. I just know that there is a rule, but for sim purposes, I just leave it there because that's what SimBrief will auto-generate. Sometimes I'll put in something that's not something put in by SimBrief, but this just helps with extra fuel the way I look at it. It's no tech route. It's all RNAV stuff here. IFR 320 file. Give that a second to populate on the PilotEdge map. Then we'll zoom in here. We'll see where we are. There we are. Flight plan is on file. So flight planning. Bring this in. Allegiant, PilotEdge, fly. Alright, got the overlay rocking, so that way everybody knows where we're coming from, where we're going, who we're seeing. Alright, first order of business, I'm going to add some power, so battery's on. External power is available, so we'll connect that. Now, this is our fuel, and we need, what was it? It was like 6 something. 5.8.
7375 Quebec, Lumber Ground, runway 27, taxi via Charlie.
So we'll start the fueling. Getting all 3 ADIRs, the IRS, not the IRS, these are your GPS stuff. Alright, screens are online. We'll turn on some lights. Temperature 66 degrees, so we'll get some fresh air. Open up the door. Greet our customers, or the first officer would, I guess. Maybe it is the captain. I'm not sure. Who usually greets the passengers? Is it the captain or the first officer? It's been a while since I've been on a real plane. I mean, other than a Cessna, but not an airliner. Alright. Bring up my airport diagram here on my laptop. We are at Terminal 5. Yeah.
Urban Tower, good day. Go 37 Tango Echo, holding short runway 8. Remaining the pattern.
November 37 Tango Echo, Burbank Tower, make left, correction, make right, close traffic, runway 8, clear for takeoff.
Make away, close traffic, runway 8, clear for takeoff, Aero 37 Tango Echo.
D8 good there. Fuel is 58.
November 136, Juliet Romeo, Bakersfield grounds, departure frequency 118.8.
Passengers 109. And we have to match sim brief. So 58604
I'm not sure. I know you're going to Mojave though.
minus what we got 51,400 plus 1,000 8204.
136, Juliet Romeo, we're back correct.
That gives me 58.6. 29.3. So for the McDo, you need this number, 58.6 and 29.3. CG's right in the middle, so that's why the trim is pretty much dead center. So we are good to go. Passengers are boarding.
November 4131, Charlie, San Luis ground, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha. November 4131, Charlie.
Check the oil. Got 19 quarts per engine. Hydraulic fluids, the little arrow is top. Electrical, we're going to check out the battery, make sure it charges properly. So you turn them off. And then we turn them back on and look for the arrows. So they are charging. APU check. And we'll start the APU to get environment for our passenger compartment. Waiting for the flap to open. There it goes. APU is kicking on.
30 right via Alpha Bravo 136 Juliet Romeo. 737 Juliet Yankee cross wig, add and maintain 10,000 Las Vegas altimeter 29901.
Check our bleeds. Make sure the cross feed and all that works.
124 Alpha Golf, requesting visual into Ramona, and we have Romeo.
Bleed kicking on, and then we'll do air conditioning. Check that. APU generators available, so we're going to swap over to the APU. So we're going to release external power, verify we're on APU, which we are, so we can remove the ground power unit.
November 124 Alpha Golf, locality approach, turn 10 degrees left, descend and maintain 4,000 vectors, visual approach.
We are at LAX, altitude 125. We are at Terminal 5, Gate 53A, I think. Yeah, 53A. So then we come down here to Terminal 5, 53A and B is this coordinate. So we'll put it right there on the bottom, and then we'll get our GPS aligned. So we're going to go in it, and this is LAX, and we are going to SFO. We'll punch that up there, and then we are flying Allegiant. 383 is our call sign. Cost index 100. In it 33.56.5. So that's correct. 1824 3. So this is a 5, so we need to align on reference. We need to punch this one to 3. 1824.3, it just happens to match the bottom. Align on reference, get that going. We need to check the tropa, which is the troposphere or whatever it's called. So I use the top of climb for that, and it's showing 53,600. So we'll update that. That gives us the best calculation for fuel. Ground temperature is 19. We'll verify here that's correct. The SAT is the true. TAT is only true when you're on the ground. It's wing temperature otherwise when you're in the air for icing purposes. We're going to leave the cruise altitude blank until we get our clearance. Otherwise, what's the point? So, you know, you don't ask for your clearance and say as filed because you might not get as filed. It's a GPS is now primary, so we are good to go. So we are going to get our clearance. So Los Angeles clearance and delivery 120.35.
November 262 Sierra Alpha, SoCal for Burbank altimeter 29901.
23.5.
29901 to Sierra Alpha. 417 is established inbound Sager.
Alright, turn the mic on. We'll turn up our, turn up our comms a little bit. Let's get D-ATIS and then we'll get our clearance. So D-ATIS.
136 Juliet Romeo, contact departure.
We are at LAX.
For 737 Juliet Yankee, contact Las Vegas approach 118.4.
Current with Victor, is that what it was earlier?
San Bernardino
Yeah,
Tower,
it's all the same. So we got Victor. So altimeter is 93 on both. Elevation is 127. So we're within 75. We're within our limit.
Field departure 136 Juliet Romeo at 2500, climbing to 7500.
November 136 Juliet Romeo, Bakersfield departure, radar contact.
Radar contact 136 Juliet Romeo.
Los Angeles clearance, Allegiant 383 with Victor, IFR, San Francisco.
Allegiant 383, LA clearance, clear to San Francisco International Airport. Summer 2 departure, stoked transition. And then as filed, climb via SID, except maintain 5000. Departure frequency 125.2. Squawk 3565.
Cleared to San Francisco via Summer 2 departure, Stoke transition, then is followed. Climb via SID, but maintain 5000, departure 125.2, squawk 3565, Allegiant 383.
Allegiant 383, read back correct.
Alright, so we got our clearance as filed, but I didn't request as filed, but we did get as filed. So ground, we are on the south complex. Known by the tower is the middle of the field. So 121.75 is what we need to monitor, and tower is going to be 120 and 95. I have a SATEC panel, so you can't actually see what I'm doing on the standby brief.
Tower, November 4131.
All right.
Charlie reporting midfield
So
downwind for 29.
first, let's shut down the fueler. We're at
4131 Charlie, runway 29er, cleared for the option.
5.8.
Cleared for the option, 31 Charlie.
Fueler is off. And I need to enter in my ACARs for Allegiant. So we are at LAX. We're going to San Fran. 383, going with 109 passengers. Filed flight level 32.
Foxconn, November 618 Golf.
I don't remember what I filed.
For 6182 Golf, Fox ground, runway 24, taxi via Alpha.
320.
Alpha, and we'll be part of the South 618 Golf.
So that's correct. Weight 5987. So that's our cargo. And this is our flight plan. So we, yep, I have fuel.
7375 Quebec, LA Center, climb maintain, flight level 230.
ACARS is started. Come back over here. Continue the boarding process, so seatbelts on. Now we are ready for the it's like explain how to hiccup there, but I think it's alright. So anyway, we are ready for this. So 320. Take off 25 right on the summer 2. Stoked transition 25 right, summer 2, stoked transition. We're going to join ILS 28 left.
Foxconn, 618 Golf, holding Alpha 24.
6182 Golf,
Surfer 4 arrival.
Approved, runway 24, cleared for takeoff.
Full approach from Eddie.
Burbank Tower, Cherokee 2620 Alpha, 11 miles to the west. Request full stop landing with Zulu Custom.
We're 2620 Alpha.
Alright, flight plan
Burbank
is in
Tower,
there, so now we have to
clear to land.
Straight in runway 8, clear to land, 20
do
Alpha.
init. We'll grab our winds. Init page 2, punch in our weight, which is 58.6, 29.3, and fuel is 58. That will populate our time. That's perfect. I'm gonna go 6:30.
Yeah, just if you get climb via SID, that just means you can start climbing via the restrictions again.
Decision altitude for that approach.
Yeah, that's correct. Like out of John Wayne, we usually say climb via SID, except maintain 5,000, and then when you check in with departure, you'll just get climb via SID, so you can climb up to whatever the top altitude is.
It's 100 decision altitude.
No problem.
Do 510 on the mist. So that's in there. So let's say we need, we're going to take off, we're going to head off to the right. So if we need to come back real quick, we're going to land on 24 left because it's closest to us. It's almost 11,000 feet of runway. So I'll just set up 24 left as our return if we need to. So
7375 Quebec, contact LA Center 124.62.
yeah, 24 left. I'm gonna mute the microphone. My dog keeps barking.
St. Louis Tower, November 4131 Charlie, reporting midfield downwind for 29.
Alright, so that was the return SID. So now we need to figure out our flex.
Sorry, November 31 Charlie, runway 29er, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 31 Charlie.
So we're going to come over here. We need to get our Imperial. We are at LA. Grab the weather. Grab our takeoff. Wait, actually, that's not right. 58604 plus 5864 404. So that's our takeoff weight. And we're going to be using 25 right. 263. $156. And 67. All right. So I got all those wrote down. So now we come back over here and we can knock out our perf. So we got 156, 156, 159 with a 67. And like I said earlier, if we need to come back, we're going to be doing 24 left. Quick reference back to that runway if need be. Turn on the fuel pumps. Autopilot, we're going to climb via the SID but maintain 5,000.
Burbank Tower, Cherokee 2620 Alpha, clear runway 8, request taxi to the FBO.
For 2620 Alpha, taxi departing via Delta, or Delta and Bravo.
Taxi via Delta Bravo, 2620 Alpha.
There's a pass for Cat 8.
Taxi 20 Alpha.
Alright. Let's come over here and we'll brief this flight. So we're going to take off on the Summer 2. So we're right here. So we're going to go Docker below 3,000. Below 5,000 at EVOS. So climb via the SID except maintain 5,000 means we have to be below 3,000 at Docker. If you would have said well, actually, climb via the SID, but maintain. Yeah, so if you have to climb via the SID, then you have to abide by this first restriction, and then no higher than 5,000. So then we'll follow this out, and then he'll tell me to climb via the SID more than likely, or he may just tell me to climb straight up to whatever altitude he wants me to go to. So if he tells me to continue to climb via the SID, then we have to make sure we're under 12,000 at dark. He might tell me to climb higher, at which point we can just disregard this altitude restriction. That's the last restriction that we'd have to worry about, other than top altitude of flight level 230. Then you always read your notes. Make sure that there's nothing here that would apply to our flight. And then we're going to fly the stoked transition. So at Ryzen is where the transitions split up, depending upon where you want to go. So we're going to file this, or we did file the stoked transition, which is what we got. So we'll continue up that way, and then we'll join the Surfer 4 arrival into San Fran with a full approach for 28 left, which is a Cat 2. So we're going to come down the Surfer 4, abiding by these altitude restrictions and speed restrictions. So this is a speed, this is an altitude. So above flight level 200 at 280 knots at Gnarly. Between flight level 190 and 5,000 and 280 knots. And then between these altitudes, 280, and so on. Get to Eddy.
St. Louis
We
Tower,
have to
November
pass
4131,
Eddy at 6,000 at 240 knots.
Runway 29.
And then we're going to do, we're going to request the ILS 28 left approach, full approach from the IAF, which is your initial approach fix. So you'll see it's the same thing. So the last point of the star is the first point of the full approach using RNAV to assist. It's like an RNAV assisted ILS approach. So once we get to the IF, the intermediate fix at Heman, then we will be intercepting the glide slope down to San Francisco, at which point we will park somewhere. I have to look up where I want to park for Allegiant, but we're going to land 28 left, take this high speed exit, probably here, maybe Echo, maybe Tango, I don't know, we'll see. And we'll park somewhere in there. So anyway, that's the flight. That's what we're doing. Overcast, but it's not, it'd be cloudy, but it's not too bad. You'll notice the brake actuator, or the whatever that thing is called, actuator, is low. First flight of the day it will do that. It's also part of the yellow hydraulic system, which is this one. So when I close the right baggage door, it operates off the yellow pump, which will pressurize that. The other way you can pressurize that is to come up here and literally turn on the yellow pump, hydraulic pump, but we don't need to do that. All we got to do is close the the door, and now it's in the green. We're showing 3,000 psi. It's dropping because it's not in use, but that's a quick way to test your hydraulic yellow pump. Close the rest of the doors, remove the chocks. We are about ready to go. Do an emergency generator check. Dim the lights in the cabin. Clear out the rest of those warnings. We'll do a FADEC check. Check the engine displays. All lights are on, strikes are yellow, that's fine, that's for the door. Show fault and open, so we'll go ahead and turn those off. Doors open, shut it, give it a lock. Contact the ground crew and have them do a walk around and check the doors.
Yes, Captain. We are waiting for your instruction. Ground to flight deck. All holds and hatches are closed. Walk around complete.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
November 136 Julia Romeo, contact Joshua approach 124.55.
Juliet Romeo 124.55.
Alright, you gotta check and update your fuel. We're at 5.7, so we're gonna come to init page
Joshua
2.
approach, Skyhawk 136 Juliet Romeo.
7, update our block fuel. That'll update our time. So we're at 44. Leave it there, it will roll to the fuel prediction page, which will give us a CG that we can use for trim. Check our fires.
2997, 136 Juliet Romeo.
St. Louis Tower, November 4131 at Foxtrot, requesting taxi to East Hangars.
4131 Charlie, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Our squawk code 3565.
4131 Charlie,
bypass pin inserted. Release
I
parking
need you to do me a favor as you're taxiing over there. I just needed to disconnect and then reconnect from the network. Seems like maybe you had like a small internet blip and you aren't appearing on the network, but I still hear you.
Will do, thank you.
Issue with their new plugin, I think. Alright, ignition. Monitor hydraulics on the bottom, engine on top.
Local approach November 618 Golf.
N2 is rising.
100 about 5 miles northwest of
Yellow pump is on. At 20 N2 we'll get light off. Got light off. Pressurized 3000 PSI. PTU will kick on shortly.
November 6182 Golf. SoCal approach squawk 1343.
Squawk 1343 6182 Golf.
PTU is on. We got 3000 on the blue pump.
6182 Golf radar contact.
Generators available.
4 miles west of Van Nuys.
Kick on engine 1.
Altimeter 29090. And clear through LA Bravo
PTU is activating green.
Maintain VFR at 5,000.
N2 is climbing.
LA altimeter 29093.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Got light off.
Clear to the LA Costa Bravo space via the Costa Rica southbound. Maintain VFR at 5,500 in the Bravo 680 Golf.
Number 7375 Quebec, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 13,000.
Generators available. Ignition 0, flaps 1.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
110. 110. Oxygen is on,
Tower,
1910
November
PSI. We'll give the
4131
mask a
Charlie.
test.
Just checking to see if that disconnect, reconnect took place properly.
4131 Charlie, yep, I've got you back on the, let me see again, it was passed for Cat 3.
Excellent, thank you. Have a great day.
Good day. Bridge 7375 Quebec, Mojave, altimeter 29907.
Current with whiskey. The altimeter is 93, the wind 250 at 11 knots.
Approach 134.9.
So we're going to have to check our perf real quick, see if anything's changed. We are at ground control south complex 21.75, towers 20.95. So we'll be taxiing down to 25 right from ramp Charlie's, what is that, 6? It's Charlie, I don't know, I'll find out when I move. I'm sitting on it. Alright. Trim for this, look at the CG, we got 28.6. 28.8 is the closest, so down 0.1. Pop that there. Down 0.1. Back it up with the perf. Down 0.1.
Back contact Joshua, approach 126.1.
Do flight control check. Right, left, speed brake, rudder, engine, check the crew, done, cargo heat is on, overhead is fine,
Joshua, A approach.
Taxi lights on,
The
APU
Mojave
off.
altimeter 29907, expect visual approach into takeoff.
97, we'll expect a visual approach, sometime back.
Terrain is on, I got current ATIS, cargo heats are fine, I'm monitoring guard on channel 2.
And I have the 2-minute weather at destination, sometime back.
Thanks. November 136, Juliet Romeo, contact Mojave Tower, 127.6.
127.6, 136, Juliet Romeo.
Coast Pilot, what's up, buddy?
Mojave Tower, Skyhawk 136, Juliet Romeo, about 10 miles to the northwest, inbound for
Greetings from Portland. I managed to get one of the FSE flight done in the Kodiak before my sim messed up. I hope they release Beta 1.7 soon. See what new issues that introduces. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's why I'm not using the betas. But how many more betas do you think there'll be before they actually go final? You know what I mean? Like, how much more of that do we have to... Because I want to try the Vulcan, but I'm waiting until it's stable. I'm not messing with that beta. Alright, we're with Whiskey Terminal 5. Los Angeles ground, Allegiant 383, Terminal 5 with Whiskey. You ready to taxi?
Allegiant 383, LA ground, runway 25 right, taxi via Charlie 9er, Bravo.
25 right via Charlie 9er, Bravo. Allegiant 383. Charlie 9er, Bravo. So Bravo is straight ahead.
We're 7375 Quebec, descend and maintain 9,000.
Maintain 9,000, South Quebec.
Yeah, Bravo. Should release candidate soon, but they're taking their time. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have it perfect. And even when they do release it, I'm not going to update. Well, I probably will update right away. As soon as I know that this airplane, the one I'm currently flying, is compatible with Vulcan, then I'll update. But this is the plane I fly the most out of anything I own. So as long as this one works well with Vulcan, then I'll go ahead and update. But as far as I know, this plane is not compatible with Vulcan yet. But yeah, the LR, they're not going to release the beta till, I mean, the stable version until they're comfortable with it. It's not. I don't think he looks at it as a race or anything or competition with Microsoft. I'm still going to be flying X-Plane way more than Microsoft initially. Until Microsoft has the add-ons that this has. I think this traffic global guy is coming right at me, so I have to, yeah, make him go away.
737 Quebec, I actually have no traffic observed between you and the Tay Chopper Airport. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Squawk VFR, Syntax Link.
Number 136, Juliet Romeo, runway 30, clear to land.
136, Juliet Romeo, 30, clear to land. 136, Juliet Romeo.
I suspect the problem is actually the Kodiak, since I never have issues when flying stock laminar plane, or maybe it's the repetition to the Kodiak. Yeah, that's a problem when you start adding all these other variables to it. I have the Kodiak, I like it, but I don't have the rep for it just because I don't fly it enough, at least for me, to justify that extra money for it. I fly it like once a month. So, and I think it flies fine without the rep, but the rep does add features to it that the original, like the walk around and the maintenance and all that stuff. So the rep is definitely worth it, but it doesn't really add that much, or it doesn't add enough for me to warrant the extra 20 bucks on that. But I like the Kodiak, and it's probably the Kodiak that's having issues with the beta. So I'm pretty sure the Dan, whoever does the Kodiak stuff, once they go stable with Vulcan, then he'll probably push out a hot fix and you'll be fine. Same thing with the rep guys, they'll push out a hot fix. So that's primarily why I'm waiting, because I don't want to deal with all those hiccups right now. I have a feeling I'm going to have plenty of hiccups with Microsoft when it first comes out, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, auto brake is max. Takeoff config check. It's normal, systems are normal, perf data is fine. Go to tower departures 125-2. Turn on our landing lights and our strobes. Alright, I think I am ready to get out of here. Do a quick check on this. Auto brake, it's on, science on, spoilers, flaps, takeoff config. We'll do the packs here in a moment. Los Angeles Tower, Allegiant 383, holding short, 25 right.
Allegiant 383, LA Tower, runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff.
25 right, clear for takeoff, Allegiant 383. Alright, PAX off.
Your 618 takeoff, leaving Bravo airspace in 2 miles, resume on navigation and appropriate VFR altitudes. Contact SoCal approach 128.1.
21, 618 takeoff.
Approaching 25 right.
Alright.
On runway.
Look how
25
cloudy it is.
Right.
We're going to be in the soup in a minute. We're going to be in the soup. Alright, engine is 50%. Engines are stable and even. Takeoff power is set. Flex 67. Airspeed is alive. SRS is active. 80 knots. Check with the first officer on that if you had one. We're gonna rotate it. V1 rotate is 156. There's V1. Rotate. It's a big old 7. Or it looks like a 380 on the right there. Positive right, gear coming up. Hold 18 degrees and into the soup. 500 AGL, we'll go to climb thrust. There's 500. Climb thrust.
136 Julie, runway turn left at Charlie.
Turn on the autopilot for the workload.
For the Cat 6.
SRS is off. We'll turn the packs back on.
Left at Charlie.
Spoilers
Taxi
unarmed.
parking.
Push that out to 40. And we'll go managed on the speed.
383, contact departure.
Over to departure, Allegiant 383, see it. To SoCal. Flaps out. SoCal departure, Allegiant 383, climbing via the Summer 1, leaving 2,600 for 5,000.
Allegiant 383, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb via SID.
Climb via the SID, Allegiant 383. Alright, so we're going to climb via the SID, which top altitude on this is flight level 230. We'll leave the Airbus in manage mode, this little dot, which means it will abide by all the altitude restrictions. We have to be below 12,000 feet at dark, so that restriction in manage mode will handle that for us. So we have an altitude restriction there at dark. Coming out of the soup. Turn off the terrain. Turn on the weather radar in case there's any storms. I don't think there is though. I looked earlier. Have it on just for the heck of it. Next frequency will probably be LA Center at some point. When in the past has been 3550, so I'll get that on the ready just in case. There's no guarantee that they'll use that one. Coming up to our altitude restriction. So we just have to verify that we're under 12,000. At 11,000 feet, I'll turn off the landing lights. Supposed to do it at, they say 10,000, but just to make sure my ACARS acknowledges it above 10,000 that I turn them off, not under. If you turn off the landing lights under 10,000 feet with ACARS, sometimes you'll get like a demerit, if you will, with the virtual airlines. All right, landing lights coming off, and we'll wait to flight level 180 before we turn off our seatbelts. Coming up to dark. We're in managed, so we should not climb above 12,000. Just keep an eye on that. We got 2.8 miles to dark. Check our cabin pressure as we climb. 1 mile to dark.
Santa Maria ground, Cessna 729, Echo Lima, east ramp, request taxi with whiskey, VFR eastbound.
That's how accurate this plane is. Look at that.
Legion 383, contact LA Center 133.2.
LA Center 133.2, Legion 383. All right.
729 Echo Lima, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, taxi via Alpha.
Punch that over, LA Center. Los Angeles Center, Allegiant 383, climbing via the Summer 1, leaving 12,700.
Allegiant 383, LA Center, climb and maintain, flight level 230.
Climb maintain, flight level 230, Allegiant 383. So what that means, I know there's no more altitude restrictions in front of us, but let's just say, for hypothetical purposes, we had one at Olaf here. Let's say it was no higher than 15,000. So he cleared us to 230, so that means we would not have to abide by any altitude restrictions ahead of us. So at that point, or this point, we can just remove the managed mode and climb as fast as we can to flight level 230. And I'm going to climb faster by reducing our speed to 300 knots, and then that will increase from 2,100 feet per minute to close to 3,500 feet per minute initially. And then transition altitude is flight level 180, at which point we would go to standard. Well, heck, we're pretty much on standard as it is. So no major faux there. Push out the plan. Situational awareness, I use this screen to help me locate where I'm at for quick reference, especially for vectors, it helps. Alright, coming up to 18,000 feet, so seatbelts to auto. There's no turbulence I'm aware of. We'll go to standard.
November 729 Echo Lima, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, cleared for takeoff, right turn on course approved.
This little blue line signifies our top of climb for 230. We'll get higher here shortly.
Legion 383, contact LA Center 133.2.
I'm already on 33.2, unless I forgot to sign in Allegiant 383.
Engine 383, I guess maybe I gave you the wrong frequency earlier. Climb and maintain flight level 320.
No problem. Climb maintain flight level 320, Allegiant 383. Alright, so we're unrestricted to flight level 320. And then you can see on this one, that's our cruise between the blue and the white. You can adjust your cruise by speed. So if I wanted a longer cruise, I would climb faster, obviously. Don't need the second flight plan because that was my engine out SID for leaving LAX. So we're gonna delete that, and I'll use a second flight plan for opposite flow at San Francisco, which I'll show you guys here in a little bit. So that will give us top of climb 52. 52, so like 10 minutes, 10-minute cruise. I hate that. Fog be gone. This little trick doesn't do anything to the clouds. It only gets rid of that haze. And I don't like the haze. See? I don't like the haze. Although it doesn't really do much for when it's far out like that. What it does is it corrects underneath us. So that way the haze is gone underneath you. So if you had ortho, which I do, this is Orbic's True Earth. With the haze there, you can't see it as well. So it would look like that here. So I do that so I can see the ortho underneath. So I can get rid of that. San Fran, elevation 13. All right, sometimes the wind at San Fran will change and the operations will have you landing on the 19ers. And that's cool, but it requires a different arrival to use the 19ers. So currently I'm set up for 28 left, as you'll see here. So to make it easy, no one likes to mess with an active flight plan, right? So the best way to do it is to set up a second flight plan for having the operations at your arrival airport change. That way you can switch to this arrival instead of the 28, like real quick if you need to. That's why I do it. And I'll show you that here in a little bit, because the arrival is, where is it? I need to check my notes. It's the Waves 1 arrival. runway 19er, left and right, surfer, waves 1. So it's exactly the same waypoints. Let me see if I can bring it over here. So you've got surfer, gnarly at 2.8 above 2,000. See, the arrival is identical until epic. No, until waves. That's why they named it the waves arrival, because it changes. So if the airport operations, the flows, if they were to change before we get to waves, then ATC will tell us to descend via the waves arrival. They might not assign us a runway, but they will assign us a different star. And this star again is 419. So everything is the same until waves. So what I need to do is enter in a second flight plan using the waves 1 arrival, which will take us along the coast. And to the left, which is interesting because they've changed this. Before it went to the right, but I guess this makes more sense because then you're not interfering with the bay as much. So then we would descend, go out on, and we would be vectored back for an ILS or RNAV 19er left approach. So I'm going to plug that in just a moment, but that's the purpose of having a second flight plan, is to change the operations at the airport. Turn our TCAS to all. Speed is on managed. We're coming up to our cruise here shortly. Checking my Allegiant. Actually, I can show you guys to make sure my ACARS is working properly and such. So you just go to like Allegiant Virtual and you can go to ACARS Live Flights, and then we can verify. I'm the only one flying on it right now, but shows I'm climbing. the sole pilot on the virtual Allegiant. And as for PilotEdge, which is what we're flying online, we are right there somewhere, right there, going there.
November 729 Echo Lima, Santa Barbara departure squawk 4775. Number 9 Echo Lima, radar contact.
We'll be talking to Oakland next.
Northeast of Santa Maria
Alright, we're
Airport.
coming up to our cruise. So the first thing we're going to want to do is update our winds.
Verify your destination as well.
Altitude hold. So to update your winds, you just click to the right of a waypoint, not a top of descent or anything like that. It has to be a waypoint.
9 Echo Lima, roger next.
So I'll use Surfer. You got wind data, wind request, and then we'll update our winds. That way all of our times and fuel calculations here are all valid. Our arrival time shows 24. So we got 30 minutes, we'll be on the ground. All right, so let's set up for 19er left, and just in case they do change the operations at the airport. So San Francisco approach, 19er left. Do they not have an ILS 19er left? Oh, they do. ILS 19er left. Let's see if they have an RNAV. Or I know they do, but I want to see what options I have here. That's just a straight in, so I don't care about that one. Blocking my great view. Alright. So we'll plan on this one. 19er left. We'll just do vectors. We don't need to do an IAF, which is initial approach fixed. We're not coming from the north or anything. So, you know, we would just get vectored around. We would depart Maverick on a heading of 360 to get vectored for ILS 19er left. So, to plan ahead, we go to second flight plan. We're gonna actually, let me do the weather first. So let's get D8 for San Francisco. Current with Alpha. Alright, so we got altimeter of 2993. The temperature is 18. Winds are 330. 17 knots. And it's all right here in the METAR. Wind 330 at 17 knots.
Allegiant
Altimeter
383, contact Oakland Center 127.45.
Oakland Center 127.45, Allegiant 383. We'll see it. 2745, and we are at our cruise. Don't sign in right away because you don't want to step on someone. And they took some time to add that. Oakland Center, Allegiant 383, flight level 320.
Southwest 165, Phoenix departure, radar contact.
Freaking waited and I still stepped on someone. Alright, so we got
Allegiant 383, Oakland Center, descend via the Surfer for arrival, San Francisco altimeter 29993.
Descend via the Surfer 4, 29993, Allegiant 383. Alright, so he told us to descend via the Surfer 4, so unless for whatever reason the things change, but that's why we put it in, because it could change. As long as we know by waves, then we can change it up. So first thing we're going to do is put in our destination data. So we're going to go to perf, approach, altimeter 93, temperature 18, wind 330 at 17, and that's going to be a nice right crosswind coming in. All right, 100 foot, so that's fine. All right, so now let's just say I wanted to do that other thing, right? So copy active, go to the arrival, ILS 19er left, via waves 1 star, no transition, no via. So I just want the ILS and the star, and that's it. Return, return, flight plan, second, perf, has second highlighted for the approach. So we can go to 19er, and our decision height is 289. Actually, I don't think that's right. Let me see. 19er left. I'm used to looking at, it's 300. So 300 feet is, I was looking at this one for whatever reason. All right, decision height 300. All that is good. So this again is second flight plan, not the original. So you can go back to the second, and then we can get rid of all the stuff up here. We're only interested from waves on, because that's where it changes up. The two arrivals are identical till you get to waves. So I only care about waves to go out the other way. So that way we are set if I need to change before waves to the other star. So that's how you do it.
For 59er Mike Romeo, I hear you loud and clear. How do you hear me?
And let me see, Allegiant Terminal 2.
Southwest 165, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
And I want 58A. The charts, it's D15. So we're going to park here, Terminal 2. So I'm just going to ask for Terminal 2 upon landing. And
Albuquerque Center, Southwest 165, 15,000.
So we'll be entering in the ramp at
Southwest 165, Albuquerque Center, climb
6A, 6 or 6B.
Maintain 300.
These are hold short points for when you taxi out. So when you talk to ground control, you can just say, you know, Allegiant 383 at ramp hold number 6 or ramp hold 6 alpha, current with whatever the ATIS is, and then request taxi, and they'll know right where you are. You don't have to say the gate. As long as you're in a non-movement area and you're sitting by one of these numbers, you just reference the number on the chart as to where you're sitting. That's all that ground control needs for your location. All right, we're going to lower the temperature and then forward. And we'll clear that out. We'll update that when we need to talk to them. We'll highlight the surfer. So the bottom altitude on the surfer the very bottom is 6,000 feet. So he said I can descend via the surfer arrival. So the lowest I'm allowed to go is 6,000. And then we have to abide by all these other restrictions along the way. So we will be doing managed mode all the way down to, what did I say that was? Oh my God. All right, 6,000. Coming up to our top of descent, we got 4 miles. crew know we'll be descending. We'll set TCAS for all below, BLW below, so any airplanes that would be climbing as we're descending. Start on our way down, and now we need to report leaving 320. Oakland Center, Allegiant 383, leaving 320. Got that turned on.
Allegiant 383, roger. Find out Whiskey Romeo, Flagstaff grounded. Go to the Bremerton Airport, Flagstaff, one departure, then S filed.
Alright, we're doing...
Departure is 133.57, squawk 6456. Banana Whiskey Romeo, read back correct detection, we visa set to 13,000.
Approach to a
read back correct.
Left, it's a Cat 2. So we got 109.55. Loading in scenery as soon as I did that. I'm going to give it a second to finish loading in this tile. This was VATSIM, Xpilot would be kicking me off right now because when it loads in scenery, it only gives you like 30 seconds to correct it. Sometimes it takes just over 30 seconds. Alright, now I'm back up to 30 FPS. Alright, so we go to RadNav, verify it's the same, 109.55. Course 284, so that matches the nav data. Okay. So I have my constraints activated because that shows you all the restrictions that are ahead of you. Like we're going to slow to 280 knots. That's what this dot is for. That will signify, right now we're at 340 knots. So by the time we reach Gnarly, we'll slow to 280 knots. It's all done automatically as long as you have managed mode in every single box. It will do it automatically. You don't even have to worry about it. So now we're slowing. As you can tell, this little arrow means you will be at whatever the bottom of the arrow, that speed, 10 seconds. So this is a 10-second estimate. So when you're accelerating, if you're accelerating fast or whatever, you know, this arrow will be longer if you're going quicker, or if you're descending faster or whatever. We're right on profile. We're slowing to 280 knots by Gnarly, so that's fine.
Allegiant 383, contact NorCal approach 121.3.
NorCal approach 121.3, Allegiant 383. Alright, 121.3. We'll plug that over there. We'll get our D-ATIS for San Fran. Current with Bravo. I'll update the weather. All that is 2992 on the altimeter. NorCal approach, Allegiant 383, descending via the Surfer 4, leaving flight level 218. Current with Bravo, request ILS 28, left approach.
Allegiant 383 NorCal approach, altimeter 29902, you can expect that.
29902, and I expect that. Allegiant 383. Alright. So. Got 280 knots at waves. See this? Here comes waves. So if the winds were to change out of the north or something, or out of the south, I mean, then they would just change it before waves to the other arrival, which I have programmed in. So all I'd have to do to change arrivals at this point would be to go to second flight plan. You want to first click here so your vertical speed remains the same, and then go to heading mode. And then once you do that, you can activate your second flight plan, and then you would have waves, and then you would do direct to waves, and then you'd be good to go. But we don't need to do that, obviously. Cabin pressure is dropping. Engines are in the green. Bleeds are fine. Hydraulics are fine. Fuel is relatively even. APU should be off. Environment, got 22 in the forward, 24 in the back, 18 cargo hold. I lowered the temperature, so that's why it's a little lower. Coming up to transition altitude at flight level 180, so we're going to switch to standard, which is the same as it was anyway. I mean, switch to the altimeter setting, which is the same as standard, is what I meant to say. And he says I can expect the ILS 28 left approach, but he didn't give me permission to fly the approach. So I'm not allowed to descend past 6,000 until I'm actually cleared to fly the approach. Alright, let's update our weather here. So we've got 92, check my notes. Alright, so 92, the wind 310 at 17, is that still the same? 310, 17, 92, temperatures 18, so all that's the same. So we'll go to our perf, 29, 92, 18's the same, the wind is 310 at 17. So now we're good.
So it's 165, contact LA Center, 124.62.
I like to hit the refresh weather on my injector when I'm doing these longer flights, because sometimes it's not up to date, so updating that now, and it does it in the background. It doesn't even cause an FPS drop or anything when it's updating, but it takes like 30-40 seconds to update, and then I'll force update the clouds as well, so that way everything looks just like it would in the real world. This will take 2 seconds. Coming up to 12,000 feet. There's 11. Seatbelts coming on. Get some of our landing lights on. To SFO to a left.
Flight staff, November 900, Tango Bravo, is here to Papa Whiskey Tango.
900 Tango Bravo, flag staff ground school to Bremerton Airport, flag staff 1 departure that is filed. Cloud via Citic 7 maintain 13,000, departure frequency 133.57, squawk 5102.
November 900, Tango Bravo is cleared to Papa Whiskey Tango, flag staff 1, climb via the SID, top altitude 13,000. Departure frequency 133.57, 5102 for the squawk.
Feedback right.
Got a bogey. He's 2,000 feet above us. And he keeps. We're descending, so he's not even an issue. I have no idea what causes that. Sometimes the weather updates, I don't know. NorCal approach, Allegiant 383. I might clear the approach from Eddie.
Allegiant 383 is contact NorCal approach on 135.65.
35.65, Allegiant 383. NorCal approach, Allegiant 383, leaving 6,400.
Allegiant 383, NorCal approach, cleared ILS runway 28 left approach.
Cleared ILS 28 left approach, Allegiant 383. I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to add in our air brakes. Do flaps 1, keep this down to 190. Turn on our radios there. Radios, max landing weight 65,000 tons. We're at 62, so we're good there. Localizer is alive, so we'll arm that. This is a slippery airplane, so it takes a little bit of finagling to get it to slow down. We'll turn on terrain warning since we're around mountains. Seatbelts are on. Put the ILS on the first officer side. Weather radar can come off. We are approaching 200 knots, so we can go to flaps 2. And then that will allow me to arm the spoilers.
Can approach, check 458 November Deltas, requesting VFR into class Charlie, with full stop landing runway 21 with information Oscar. I'm about 5,500 feet.
Gear down.
Heading 210.
20.5 is
458 November Delta, squawk 5007, maintain VFR.
Squawk 5007, maintain VFR, 8 November Delta.
Flaps 3. If I need to go missed for whatever reason, just climb to 4,000. San Francisco radial 275 to Oleman, which is 15.4 DME, and hold, continue climb and hold 4,000. So 4,000 is our missed. So we'll reset MCP for 4,000.
Region 33, counting San Francisco Tower, 120.5.
San Francisco Tower, 120.5, Allegiant 383. San Francisco Tower, Allegiant 383, stational localizer, 28 left.
Region 383, San Francisco Tower, runway 28 left, good land, wind 300 at 17.
28 left, clear to land, Allegiant 383. Alright, we can go flaps full. Do a cabin check here. Bring up the airport map. Maybe not. Landing gear signs, spoilers, flaps. turn off traffic global on final because sometimes it causes an FPS dip. If I need to go missed, it would be full throttle, flaps 3, gear up. Man, I wish I was flying to San Francisco in real life. Portland is getting a bit too protest crowded for my taste. Yeah, I know. The whole world has gone crazy. I agree.
Approaching 28 left.
Sad. Ground control 121.8. 8. Yeah.
400.
Yeah, Seattle, I think. Was it Portland or Seattle that has like a no police zone or something? I mean, that's ridiculous. And they're going back to the 80s with the Guardian Angels. All right, autopilot off. We're landing.
200.
Alright, November Delta's ready to contact 3 miles north of the Spokane Airport, contact Spokane Tower.
50, 40.
Over Tower 8, November Delta.
20, retard, 20, 10, 5.
Spokane Tower, Church 458, November Delta, with a full stop landing, runway 21.
Reversers on.
East of the field.
458, November Delta, Spokane Tower, runway 21, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 21, November Delta.
Approaching runways.
Stop after the stop bar, not before. Otherwise, you'll get a lecture. We'll sit here for a minute. APU is on, brakes are off. We'll turn on the brake fan for the heck of it. San Francisco Tower, Allegiant 383, Terminal 2.
Legion 323, taxi right via Alpha, steer the frequency.
Parking via Alpha with you, Allegiant 383, we'll see ya.
Spokane Tower, Cherokee November Delta, go around.
Alright, November Delta, make right close traffic, report midfield.
Right close traffic, report midfield, 8 November Delta.
Alright, so I want 58 Alpha, I think it's called. It's a big old plane sitting right there. I wonder what that one is. Is that a 777, you think? I'm not a Boeing. I don't fly Boeing that often. Although I probably will tonight. I'm gonna do a little, this is my VA day, I guess. I'm gonna be doing some FedEx virtual this evening on VATSIM. So this guy will disappear once I get close enough to it. Yep. This is my gate.
Cantera, check 8, November Delta midfield, runway 21.
APU is on. Engine's coming off.
Check 8, November Delta.
Flagstaff ground, November 900 Tango Bravo 8 uniform taxi.
And 900 Tango Bravo, Flagstaff ground, runway 21, taxi via Alpha.
21 via Alpha for 900 Tango Bravo, thank you.
I guess we can turn that off. Terrain is off. Let's turn off the cargo heat. We'll turn off the fuel pumps. Crew supply, oxygen. We'll turn off the GPS stuff.
Of the Beale Air Force Base at 8,300 feet, climbing 10,500. Crest flight following destination Brookings.
Watch out for the 5th stage compressor bleed valve in the 737 has been in storage prior to your... Right, yeah.
Squawk 1360, Cirrus 946 Foxtrot.
Disconnected.
Alright. Make sure the ACARs took. Worst thing is to exit the sim and forget to cancel the ACARs. Takes like 30 seconds for it to catch up, I guess. All right. Let's do a replay of the landing. Make sure I'm offline. The wind was right down the runway, so that made it easier. I like this livery because I live in Florida, so had to go with that one, of course. Sure is a lot of Alaskan airlines in this Traffic Global. Seems like every airport has an Alaskan Airlines at it. If I could do anything different with Traffic Global, I would wish I had the ability to control the airport flows upon starting up the sim, but there's no way to do it other than WED, and that doesn't always work. Comes United. All right, guys. Coast Pilot, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. I much appreciated it. I like having people to talk shop when we fly. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's gonna be VA day, so I'll be doing some FedEx ops on VATSIM after after a little while. So if you're around, feel free to. You can even follow me. I'm probably gonna take off from Newark and fly into Boston, I believe, with my Boeing 767. So if you're around, if you want to follow me, that would work. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time, my friend. Appreciate it. See you next time, bud.